And we're back, and I'm no longer cursed. Yay, we'll actually have some mana. Too bad it does not come back quickly. Anyway. Let's see if we can give him, like, neck issues. No, I can't get closer to him, which is probably for the best. Well, let's make him, like, nod awkwardly.
Come on, let's just talk with him.
I like the fact that they actually do, like, head tracking in this game. That's cool.
Hey.
Whee! Whee!
Come on, let's speak
Okay.
to him.
Bear the circlet of Arcades. Then the wreath is almost complete. The foundation is gold with runes of prayer, as I said. Now, it must be woven with blood and toil. The colossi furnish the foundation and nature furnishes the trappings. The laurels of the wreath are not crafted, but earned. We seek Teryx veins. Once they are ours, once the wreath is complete, the ritual of atonement can begin. Salvation awaits. You bear the circlet of art. Now, the laurels of the wreath are not... I take it you have encountered a Teryx before. Likely the mongrel, carrion-eating scavengers that plague us. They are a common foe. We seek the veins of the Alpha Teryx. They are fierce and proud, all that is wild and savage in nature. To prove to the gods the righteousness of our faith, then we must conquer a mighty foe. They will serve. The gods sent you to bear witness to our atonement. To do that, we must complete the wreath of absolution. The wreath is made from the large feathers, the veins of the Teryx Alphas. They live in eyries to the south. Very well, Beckoned.
Oh,
He's
now
coming.
he's dead. Okay. Look at that cape physics. Look at that cape physics. I don't even... I don't know.
Flutter, flutter.
Capes in games always feel like a very bad idea to me. Because the actual, like, cloth physics is very hard to get down proper.
It would
And
be quite a feat if in a future game they actually do make cloth that moves flowingly.
yeah. But that's going to require... Realistically, what that's going to require is Disney doing it first.
Mm-hmm.
Or, like, some game company really just kind of going balls to the wall with their physics.
I mean, if they can make boobs jiggle, why can't they make, you know, baggy pants jiggle?
To you, Beckoned, but it is enough to give my people hope. I thank you on their behalf, if nothing else.
She's not happy about Anacados, but she is happy that the citizens feel better.
Mm-hmm.
But, no, it would be really cool to have proper cloth physics in a game. Though I don't feel like it's a particularly necessary thing.
I mean, and I like it how with most armor, it's rigid anyway.
Yeah. I could see a game like Dark Souls doing it, because Dark Souls is, I wouldn't quite say anal enough for that to be like,
Oof,
that's new.
frozen.
Not like it does any damage
Whoa,
to
they're
us.
actually kicking. This is unique.
I kind of wish they didn't have any normal armor on and they're just like truly just fisticuff masters trying to punch us. Jeez, there are so many side quests and I'm not going to do any of them. But, oh, we're kind of talking about that whole thing is like, I should have done a purely 100% Amalur run. It took me 30 hours. Well, it took me like an additional 20 hours to do all of the side quests up to the point where we finished the House of Sorrows. There's no way I would want to get those extra like 20 hours on film and commentated over. We would probably be done with like 20 to 30 series. Like we would be let's playing this game for an entire year with every other day uploads. Do you know how nonsense that would be?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody would watch. No one. Like,
Well, also, some of the side quests were
dumb.
really too simple and didn't have any real story to them.
Yeah, if they're
Like
interesting,
that
sure.
one guy who's like, I'm bleeding buckets, get me that ring.
Oh, he was worth filming just for a second.
Just
yeah,
for the
the
blood.
resolution for that one was, it wasn't his ring, but it wasn't the other guy's ring either, and it was cursed, so they gave it to us to just get it off of their hands, because they didn't want to deal with it. Anyway, let's talk to, Priest Man.
We are here. That is good. I feel hope stirring in my veins once more. It is the prospect of reconciliation that has granted me a second youth. Come. We must kill the alphas of each eyrie. With their veins in hand, we shall fulfill the gods' wishes.
Okay.
We must act.
Where do I find the Terex feathers? I don't know, right up ahead where all the Terex are?
Ooh, they're red.
At least the alpha Terex is.
Well, the alphas, yes.
Yeah, I assume the blue ones are Terex matriarchs or something. Or, no, they're just basic Terexes. Alright, so, I don't know how I've managed to do it, but, like, the damage our greatsword does seems to have gone up by, like, a factor of 2. Which I ain't complaining about.
Thus we begin. And as we harvest these trophies, you shall learn the journey the Colossi have taken to get here. Once we were but savages, no better than the other giant kin. We were called Myru, and to that identity we were chained until one day, Athene spoke to us. She spoke of a destiny and greatness that was not ours but could be. She showed us the path of ascension, and we followed it here to the teeth of Naros. No, we are far from the homeland of our ancestors. Undoubtedly the gods wished us to renounce our savage history. It was necessary. Though the Jotun and Etin once regarded us as kin, they grew jealous of us, of the strength we gained from the gods' favor. Tensions rose to war. It was a sign from Athene to my people to seek a new homeland, where the bounty of her wisdom could be harvested eternally. We must act.
You know, this entire area kind of reminds me of, oh shoot, Nagrand from the Outlands. You know, floating rocks, nice, beautiful, like, green, plain vista type stuff.
Feel
Have we-
Balin's embrace.
Did I ever go with you to the Outlands?
Yeah, it was with all of the, like, animals wandering all over the place and the giant elementals. And we spent a lot of our times just doing, like... we were doing... What was it? It was more or less just, like, safari
thought-
hunt stuff.
Feel my
Oh, that one.
Yeah. And I think you actually thought it was kind of boring, but I liked the just, like, simplistic beauty of it. Uh-oh.
I think I really didn't like the, just through the portal with the red deserty place.
Yeah, Hellfire Peninsula. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I still liked it, just because it was large.
We wandered the teeth of Naros in search of the homeland we were promised. And when hope seemed lost, we found the Hyperion. It was a divine artifact. No mortal hand could have crafted it, a massive stone, alone in the wilderness, with the image of a floating city engraved upon its surface. At the city's heart was the Hyperion itself. We knew then Athene was tasking us to craft this wondrous city, to form a covenant. But we betrayed that ideal. To test our worthiness, the gods have strewn throughout Amalur riddles, puzzles, and challenges. Answering them demonstrates our greatness. The Hyperion is one such challenge. Perhaps the greatest of them. And though we discovered it years before, we still do not have the answer.
It's probably something that you and I will figure out in just like 5 seconds, or the player character will just automatically have the answer to.
We must act.
I don't know. But I think that in most games, some of my favorite zones, especially if you choose like a specific race or faction, are actually the starter zones. You know? Because I really liked,
Yeah.
what was it, like the silver...
Night Elf starting area.
Blood Elf?
Blood Elf, Draenei, the Asura, the Sylvari. Even Queensdale for the humans in Guild Wars 2 was pretty damn good.
I mean, I think it's in part because when you're initially getting into a game, it has
They need to
catch
sell
you.
it particularly well. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
And they often tend to be the most diverse, and then they homogenize
Balin's embrace.
the later you go, unless there's like some really specific creepy place.
Yeah. Because, I guess let's talk about Guild Wars.
Like, things got uglier as Guild Wars went on.
Yeah, it was weird. Like, the Sylvari starting area was amazing, but once you get up to the, like, northern section of it, it's just dreary and swampy, and it sucked. The Asura starting area at least stayed kind of pretty and cool the entire way through, but it still just wasn't, I don't know, it didn't have the same...
Both of them feed into the Brisbane Wildlands, which...
I don't know, the Brisbane Wildlands was kind of pretty.
No. It was
I liked it
flat
better
grass,
than...
whatnot.
I liked it better than a lot of other ones.
The Shiver Peaks all look the same.
Yeah, the Shiver Peaks were boring. I think for me, the Char starting area was cool.
In the end, the city rose, but the Hyperion did not follow. The heart of the city remained unmoved. That we could not abide. My predecessor, Arches, sought to force the Hyperion up, but the Hyperion rejected him, killing him and his followers, and sealed itself away. Our work here is concluded. Since you seem to favor the arts of magic, take these. I used them once. May they guide your meditations.
Oh. Okay, so he's giving us loot, keyed to our highest discipline.
Mm-hmm. I noticed that with a bunch of them.
So if we had a lot more, if we had higher in might, he'd be giving us, like, arms and armament.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still worse than our standard crafted gear, so who cares?
I must make the gods see that my people can be redeemed for the faults of Arches. With the wreath in hand, I can conduct a ritual of atonement. As you bear the cipher, the conduit to the gods, you will bear witness. Come, we must conduct this ceremony at the site of our original transgression. Let us go to the Hyperion.
Neat.
Salvation awaits.
I wonder why they spelled it with an A as opposed to an O, like Hyperion.
Hyperion sounds like a location. Hyperion sounds like a thing.
Mm-hmm. I suppose that's true. Just reminds me of that novel series, Hyperion.
Yep.
I have yet to finish reading all of them. But it's a lot of politics. And there's, like, these Catholic factions that are, like, in the distant future that are, like, I don't know, part cultists, and there's, like, this time-traveling being called the Shrike.
It was okay. I found it was
thing.
too dreary and a little disconnected for my tastes.
Well, especially because the 7 main characters would, like, camp out somewhere, and then they'd be like, hey, you! What's your backstory?
Yeah.
And how are you connected to the Shrike?
I'm trying to remember what... Lost had an excessive amount of, like, backstory, flashbacks, and that kind of nonsense. Mm-hmm. And I got kind of the same feeling as Lost. Like, none of the characters were particularly likable. And they all did kind of crappy things here and there, and, like, they all had some element of mystery to them. And pretty much half the entire first book, or first season, in Lost's case, was, like, backstory and exposition, and it was confusing. Mm-hmm. And frustrating. So I really don't like backstory and exposition.
When you have, like, these characters walking around, and then you find out later, oh, they did this in the past. Well, we're all stuck on an island together anyway, so what does it matter? Sort of like how in The Walking Dead, technically our main character committed murder when he found his wife cheating with some guy.
Yeah.
And then it's like some secret that you sort of try to keep, except you can be upfront about it.
People are not going to trust a murderer. Oh, wait, I went to the wrong thing.
Well, I know, but when you do reveal it, they're like, well, you've helped us so much, you know.
Though they did act a little less trusting towards you.
Oh, that they did.
Yeah. I don't know. It was... that is a fantastic game. I kind of miss...
If anything, I don't think the main character should have necessarily taken it out on the senator that was cheating with his wife. I don't like it how when someone cheats, people always blame the person that their partner is cheating with as opposed to the partner themselves. You know?
I think the thing is,
they think, oh, so-and-so stole her from me?
Yeah.
Or instead of she chose to be...
Yeah, they see the transgressor as the thief, not just a second party that may or may not have any malicious intentions. Anyway.
No, I just think it's silly.
Yeah, it's...
Because both people are just as much to blame.
Pretty much, yeah. And it's kind of a cat in a bag that you really don't want to let out too much. Oh, he's wearing the hat.
You have come, good. We stand in a ground once hallowed beyond all things, now tainted by the excommunication of my people. Ever since that terrible day when arrogance and desperation brought about the disfavor of the gods, my followers have tended this place. Now come. We shall go to the antechamber of the Hyperion, the very spot where the sins of the Colossi were answered. Come, beckoned.
So the silent monks are in here. That looks to be...
That looks like
Secondra. Yep. I think she is going to play a bigger role than just being kind of like unhappy about things.
I think her name actually does...
Ruined in the dark hour. The magics holding the paths together were unbound. Only the cipher can reorder such magics. Press ahead and set the path.
Oh, I see. He wants us to go ahead of him because there's a magical barrier blocking it, so I didn't actually take the wrong direction. Haha!
Yeah, thank goodness.
I was like, how do we get back to him? That was weird. And neat. And why can't the rest of this game be this kind of interesting? Because, like, even this guy has a personality.
Must finish this.
Even if it's just kind of like a weird dude that doesn't trust his own, like, abilities to, like, get anything done, so he waits for some kind of sign. Which makes us... Uh-oh. I'm going to take this opportunity to save. For some reason, this DLC is crashy. Because this game has,
This mural was to celebrate the great triumph of my people. Though the city floats, it is nothing without the Hyperion at its heart. If you were curious, I could tell you more.
neat.
So it has the Colossi, and then their old selves.
Yeah, caveman Colossi, and then the civilized noble Colossi, and the kind of like intermediate ones that are like,
The stone.
lead us.
Yeah.
Yep. I wonder if he's gonna try and sacrifice us or something. That would be kind of weird.
Ugh.
Again, we find the way barred. I'm afraid I need your help once more.
See? Completely useless. Look, he could like just kind of step down from all of these, not require the little like mouse person to run around and do everything for him. And heck, he could probably just like hop across. Look. Just boingy, 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 boingy. But maybe they're trying to play him up as kind of an old dude. Oh, do I have to get closer to him to convince him to come across? Yep.
Yep. There you go.
Should have just gone on ahead and been like, see ya. Don't even care. I also have to say it's kind of pretty in here. Mm-hmm. And this is the actual Hyperion. Not the structure we were above earlier. Looks like there are holes in it and stuff, and there's...
Well, that's the city depicted on the side.
Okay, I'll stop that. Oh. See, I thought it was like some damage from when they were excommunicated and stuff when they were trying to lift it up. But no, that makes actually a lot of sense. It's kind of weird, but it works. Oh, he wants to talk to us.
Mm-hmm.
We are almost...
No, he doesn't.
done.
He just...
You open the door and get through.
Yeah, for whatever reason, this dude is just incapable of doing things on his own. Oh well.
So nothing is gonna attack us?
Nope. This is just like run through the caves. I'm more than willing to bet maybe like the Marauders attack and we have to fight our way out or something. It just seems like we're running through a lot of this cave for sightseeing purposes, which is fine. Just unusual for this game, because usually they're just like, let's put bogarts everywhere. Make Wander just go kind of insane. But
I like the lanterns.
yeah, no, the lanterns are pretty. The design work that went into this DLC is fantastic.
It reminds me of that floor vent grating that...
We have reached it. Beyond that stone is the Hyperion, the gift of the gods, the symbol of a covenant concluded. It rests out of reach, waiting for the day when the gods forgive our trespass, when they find us worthy again. Until now, I feared such a day would not come. We should begin. The gods visited this room once before. It seems only fit that you occupy their position. I will take my place where Arceus once stood. Long before, Arceus dared grasp the power of the gods and was judged according to his impudence. We act now as their analogues. In you, the gods visit this chamber once more. You shall stand where they appeared and made manifest their wrath. And I shall stand where Arceus stood and bore the brunt of their imminent will.
So he's asking you to kill him. Or something.
I don't know.
'Cause how are you
I
going
don't
to
know.
manifest vengeance and wrath and he take it?
I don't know. But I was thinking, you know what he actually looks like that I'm reminded of? World of Warcraft, the Ulduar, the Titans.
Yeah.
Looks very similar, and I like that. Okay.
The end of this awaits.
Okay, let's go hop in the hole. Woo! We're in the hole. What do we do? Dude needs to learn to hurry his ass up. So, okay. Oh, here we go. Oh, we hit him with our fate powers.
Thank the gods! Praise be to them after all this time. I bear witness to their confirmation. You have done so well, Beckoned, to bring the cipher to me and to let me use its strength. With you, I can do what Arceus could not. Command the Hyperion.
He sounds like a villain! Ah!
Yep,
What did
he
do?
actually
Did
sounds bad.
Did he steal fate? Did he... What did
I don't know.
he do?
This chamber harnesses the magic needed to control the Hyperion. But before you appeared with the cipher, no force was sufficient. I knew that when we first met, when I first sensed the cipher, that I could unseal the Hyperion and command its power. Why else would the gods furnish you, whom I needed most in my lowest hour?
Yet he believes himself blessed.
You'll regret whatever you did.
I'm just
don't
gonna
know.
ask what's going on.
He's
The
using
gods
it.
have found my people unworthy of the gifts offered us. So, using the Hyperion, I will see Idilla destroyed. The wicked will be purged. And once the city falls, I will reforge the ruins in an image the gods find acceptable. I'm sorry, Beckoned, but you must be a martyr for my cause.
Ah!
Dumbass. Yep, and now his silent choir people are talking. Well, you know what? Let's just go with the diggly doodles and murder the
They're
crap
just
out of
more
them.
like his secret army.
Wow, did you see that?
No.
3,000 damage.
Yeah. And again, you're going at the speed of light.
Well, it's not the speed of light, it's just the speed of imminent death. Hello, Wolf. You're dead.
A chain.
Nice.
On a spike. Why did they do all this impaling junk? You know? It just seems a little out there.
Yep. And let me guess. Sekende is going to come in? With the cipher broken by Anakatos' scheme, your fate power seems to fluctuate wildly. Interesting. Hey, we still managed to murder him. Ooh, loot, loot, loot.
What, so you won't get it incrementally? Or maybe it'll disappear, or maybe you'll
I think...
act sporadically?
I don't know. It varies. We got a lot of enemies to take out, too. But I called it earlier when I said we'd have to fight our way out.
Mm-hmm. And I think you also mentioned that we'd probably be a sacrifice.
Yep. I mean, unfortunately, this game is...
How many times have we been duped by people?
Plenty. I'm trying to think. We got duped by the King of the House of Sorrows. Really, we should just trust no one in a position of, like, royalty, because they're just kind of douche nozzle.
Yeah, that's true.
Because we got duped by the King of Sorrows. We didn't get duped by the witch per se, but she kind of threw us for a loop. And I was going to mention this earlier. So we're hitting a couple of lag spikes, and that's because this game was never finished properly. There are a lot of bugs, and while we've largely only had to deal with the crashing variety, the game will crash on us, and they're never going to fix it. So if you're kind of worried about the bugs, well...
Just make sure you save often, I suppose.
Yep. I should probably just map quick save to, like, not select, but like one of the D-pad buttons in this game. That'd probably make things really convenient. Oh well. Whaley-ho. I really wish this game had area loot, though. Like, I don't know how or why it wasn't just, like, automatically a thing in the beginning. Where it's like...
Do you know what's one thing I wonder?
Press button, loot everything. What?
Like, when you kill something, why don't you just automatically get the loot, rather than have to access it from their body?
I think it's because a lot of games use the whole, like, you can only carry so much loot.
Learn your place, heathen.
So, in this game, you're only actually able to carry, like, 50 items originally, and you have to buy backpacks, which I think is the stupidest thing ever in most games. Like...
Yeah, like, why is inventory management such a necessity?
Your ignorance is
I think it's just for weird amounts of realism and, like, kind of, if you follow a lot of, like, Dungeons and Dragons and stuff, they have, like, encumbrance, and there's a train in the background, and, oh! We're actually, over the clock. Anyway, choo-choo, we'll see you guys on the next episode of Kingdoms of Amalur, and we're gonna go stab that asshole king in the face, repeatedly, with a very large sword. See you guys then!